Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Tuesday morning. It is April 21st and it is 4:53 in the AM. And I want to share something with you about something that has been lingering, that I've been wrestling with. And last week I was bound and determined to set a boundary and maintain a boundary. And you guys don't know me. Well, some of you don't. But when I'm locked in and loaded and hunting for bear, and I say, this is it, it takes an act of Congress or an act of God to move me after I say this is it. And I reached my this is it with a particular individual, that I shared some personality traits. I'm not negating my own, but I want to tell you a couple of things that I hold firm and fast to. I don't extend passes and courtesies just because somebody is skin folk. In other words, I don't do things just because somebody's black. I don't think that everybody has it, myself included. So there's some education required on some levels on certain subjects. Okay, so that's one thing about me. Second thing about me is I don't do dysfunctional communication. I don't do dysfunctional truces. And I found myself, when with this particular individual, just being messy in my conversation. Just gossipy and snippy and backbiting. This particular person that I'm speaking of paused a conversation with an individual and pretty much said, you're wasting my time. They didn't say it that nice. And that let me know the content of the character. Now, if somebody had said something like that to them, it would have turned into something. So everything is always an edgy, snarky, snippy comment with this individual. And last week I said, I'm wondering what the internal dialogue is for this person that keeps them stuck in this pattern. And they never take accountability, ever. There's always somebody else's fault, or, an apology or an acknowledgement of wrongdoing is time elapsing, and then I come right back to the craptacular behavior. So, I was kicking it hard with this particular individual, hoping that they would get it, providing a system of checks and balances. And I realized that ain't my job. You're a grown person. You're an adult. That ain't my job. To police and filter your conversations so that it's palatable. And then I noticed that a lot of people were talking about that individual to me because at some point I had discovered a way to kind of not get involved, but, acknowledge the individual. And that's like, I don't want to be in that position either. So all the stuff that I found humorous in them snapping and flashing eventually got around to me. Now, it's not the first time. This is the second time. Then the other day, they started attempting to reconnect, to chit-chat, because some time had gone by. No, This is what we ain't gonna damn do. You're going to acknowledge your behavior, and you're going to know that this behavior did some damage, some irrevocable damage. And you can't cross this bridge again. I'm not going to disrespect you in my level of conversation. I'm going to acknowledge that you're speaking to me. But any other extra time, you've heard me say this, I'm going to need you to hold on to that energy, because that's what's going to get you by. I am now a memory. Any connection to me has been unplugged, disconnected, detoured. It's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go back and forth with adults. I'm not going to tell you repeatedly, hey, 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 hey. I'm not tone policing you. Enough people have told you you've done enough. That verbal wrecking ball that you should be able to acknowledge. And I know you do, because you've let some time go by. That's not an apology for me. And again, even if I got the apology, access is denied. You need to know there's some rules to this. Put the expletive there.